Okay, so my name is Shania Espy. I am a residential assistant, and my program was called the Black History Family Feud in respect to Black History Month. My first slide shows the objectives and the purpose of execution. So, the program was basically created to educate young leaders about modern African American history and about the history that often goes unknown or is not mentioned in your average history class or social studies course. So, basically, the Black Family Feud is created to mimic the famous show Family Feud. Which is a game show where people compete in groups of families for a prize or cash award. So basically, what we did was we created a PowerPoint that showed a Family Feud presentation that had information about Black History Month and different questions that many students may not be aware of. So our aim was to help students learn more about those who have had an impact in their African American history. So my theory is linked to a book called "Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys" by Juwanza Kunjufu. So this book basically talked about the different ideas and ideologies that are put into place to ultimately destroy Black boys and girls by miseducating them or taking away their sense of humanity. So this goes back to a quote that was ironically given by Malcolm X, which is the best way to hide something from a Black person is to put it in a book. So my program was basically to help students get this information that is put into books that they may not come across and put it out there for them to learn. So this theory was ultimately counteracted by the Black Family Feud program. The first artifact shows my program flyer, which is the Black History Family Feud, which occurred from the hours of 7 o'clock to 8:30 on the Adams second floor lounge. Oh my God. So the black and brown colors really popped out and stood out to me, which is why I chose them. At the bottom, it has the Family Feud logo, which is really familiar with a lot of people, and then the Black History Month because, of course, it did take place during the month of February. And then the music symbols are just to represent certain, some of the questions on the Family Feud PowerPoint we chose about different music artists. So that was just something really nice to add on there. The next artifact the next two artifacts are actually going to be emailed and sent in an email to the teachers because it actually shows the the Black Family Feud PowerPoint itself, along with some other really cool props that we use. So the perspectives of the project, five perspective positive aspects were that the students had fun, they learned things that they stated that they did not know before about their history, and more people showed up than expected. The overall environment was a very joyful experience, and the PowerPoint was extremely detailed to mimic the actual game show, which will be also shown in the next. The negatives of the project were the limitations of the project were having to change the date because the original date did take place on a Sunday, but it was no problem to change it into that next week. And also, it was a negative by having a small space to execute the program in because was not enough room, but we did make it work. And the actual food, there wasn't really actual food like a dinner for everyone. It was just small snacks. So it would have been nice to have a nice dinner, or not even a dinner, but just something more, a food that could have filled people up rather than just chips or juice. So, if I were to host this program again, a recommendation that I would give was to complete this was to have it in the game room in the Express, which is a very common area for a lot of students on campus. So, and it's a lot bigger, so I think it would have done me justice. And also, I would recommend using the the benefit of social media to publicize the event so that we could have had an even larger turnout. But overall, the program was a success.